So hi all, welcome to this second video of Agile Scrum Master Training. So in the last video, we learned about processes and empirical processes, which are, I would say, the fundamental tipping point as a basic that one should learn when they are stepping into their Agile journey. So today, as a next topic that I will cover will be of Agile Manifesto. So this is again a foundational concept, basically more based on the values and principles behind Agile rather than just what we simply see in practical what is happening. So, if you really want to deep dive into Agile, it is very important to first understand the Agile Manifesto. So, what is Agile Manifesto? So, Agile Manifesto is basically the principle and values that were basically coined by the originators of the Scrum, the founders of the Scrum, right? So the idea behind coming up with Agile Manifesto was to first incorporate and fosters values and principles into the people who will then actually be able to follow Agile to its true essence. Because if we just lay down a process, it will be very monotonous in nature, and people will not understand the real crux behind that right process. So it is simply not just not a process in that per se. Hence, the second topic I would today bringing is Agile Manifesto. So as I just shared earlier, Agile Manifesto is nothing but four core principles that were lined by the founders of Scrum. So in this video, we will cover these up. So let us begin now with the first Agile Manifesto. So the first manifesto says that individual and interaction over processes and tools. So what does this basically means? So as we know in waterfall, there was a lack of communication between the stakeholders. While in Agile, what is being promoted is that the individuals, the stakeholders, often interact and they interact in a capacity which is beyond this certain processes and tools. So in waterfall, it was very rigid process, right? We used to have some standard requirement documents. That document was signed off by certain people, and then those documents was to be provided by development team. So in this way, there was very hardly any interaction in that way. There was no regular interaction between the stakeholders. So with this Agile Manifesto, that individual and interactions is emphasizing more over process and tools, it basically denotes the value of communication and stakeholder management in Agile. So the second most important Agile Manifesto principle is that the working software is over comprehensive documentation. So again, it's coming from the waterfall, right? We used to have those bulky documents. We used to have BRS, then SRS, and then months of development cycle, and then you could get a working product. But in Agile, we are basically shortening. I mean, so in Agile, basically we are shortening the cycles, the delivery cycles. Now we have more of a minimal, viable product coming up soon. So I will cover MVP later in detail. But in that way, we are not waiting for the end, right? For the whole end duration for the project to complete to get the working software, but we are getting some versions for some iterations of that working software, right? Rather than just getting the complete in getting into the more detailed documents. Although it's not that we are not having documentations, we are in Agile, we are having features, we are having epics, we are having user stories that still documents the right the required part of it. But mainly, it is the working software that matters more in Agile. So the third Agile Manifesto principle says that customer collaboration is over contract negotiation. Again, this gives basically, I would say, do away with the rigid mindset of just going by the contracts, what is mentioned in your scope of work, SOW documents. See, the contracts will be still signed, SOWs are there. But in Agile, that's what Agile is all about, right? You are mainly collaborating with the customer and adapting to the needs of the market, and not going just by the wordings in the contract. So as the project managers or as the scrum masters, sometimes you have to get to bit of adaptability so that you be more collaborative in nature, and that's what fosters agile principles. In a way, right? So the fourth principle of Agile Manifesto says that responding to a change over following up a plan. So unlike in waterfall, we used to have a defined plan for everything. In Agile, since we are in an iterative mode, we are continuously delivering, we are getting continuous feedback, we are collaborating well, and then we are doing the stakeholder management efficiently. We have to be adaptable, right? We have to respond to a change in a positive way rather than just going by a predefined plan, right? We may get feedback so often in because of the iterative nature of agile, that we have to respond positively with the changes that we get, and then line up those changes for the deliveries. Again, how this will be done, we will cover up. But again, this is again the value, the principle that we must incorporate in our working, so that we basically get the best out of the agile principles, right? So these are the core four values that covers in the agile manifesto. We have some defined agile principles also that I will cover in the next video. But the idea about all of the agile manifesto, it's not that we are discarding whatever is mentioning over thing, right? Like we are giving more emphasis to customer collaboration over contract negotiation. And for similarly for the other three, it's not that we are basically discarding those things, but at least we have to give more emphasis to what is as per the agile manifesto. So I hope in this video you will now have a better understanding what Agile Manifesto is all about. Why do we want to understand it well before we get into our Agile journey or any of the Agile roles that you want to build your career in. So that's all from this video. Please do watch out for the third video where we will cover Agile principles in detail. Thanks a lot for watching, and do subscribe to the channel.